Okay, so for those of you who are catching me live on the YouTube stream, just give me just a second because I am also airing live on a couple of other different streams and I need a second to kind of calibrate them to get them streaming as well. Okay, I'm going to do this one here. hmm Okay, and so I think I've already kind of put the topic on several of the different platforms because we are live on one, two, three, I think six different platforms. And there are different camera angles and different things that we're on live on. I'm going to try to keep track of the comments, and if you see some over there, then you let me know. And then if I see them over here, then I'll try and manage them over here. Okay. So I'll introduce myself. Of course, I'm DocLQJ. You guys know me. And this is Larry.
Yeah, we're also podcasting on Anchor FM and International Dispute Management, and I am Larry. So we're doing this together today.
Hey, David, Tristan, Shepard. If I don't pronounce your name right, if I don't see you, then don't think I'm being rude. Say hi if I see you guys come in and I don't pronounce your name right. It's just because I maybe don't necessarily know how to pronounce it, or it means that you're a first time viewer. And if you are, I want to thank you guys for watching us live, catching us live. If you have any comments or you want to kind of be heard live on the air, then you can always call in. I will try and type the phone number in for you guys so that you can have that. I thought it'd be interesting for us to do this kind of from the couch this time to make it more comfortable. I had a lot of viewer comments to say, okay, you know what? I'd like it if it were more of a kind of conversational platform. That's okay. So we want to talk about the mass shootings. Talk about the mass shootings, talk about the gun control issue, talk about the mental health angle, um, the mental patients with guns thing, and then the felons with guns thing. We kind of want to talk about those things to kind of jumpstart and talk about that to start. And then I want to be able to wrap up this discussion with self-care and how you guys are managing to take care of yourself and what you guys are doing to just take care of your own emotional and mental health while all of this is going on. What is your take right now? So, with the mass shooting thing, a lot of people have said that because they are Hispanic, um, they feel unsafe. They feel like a potential target. I've had people in law enforcement. I know my client base of law enforcement people, Hispanic clients abroad, have has definitely increased. The anxiety is high. Hey Dorothy, how are you? And hey David, hey King. These people feel like they are not safe because they don't know whether or not they are a target. You know, they don't know whether it's safe to go outside. And I want to know if you guys feel the same way. Um, there is a lot of pressure right now on the president. There is a tremendous amount of questions around whether he's doing what he needs to do, whether legislation is doing what they need to do in regulating gun control. gun control. There are a lot of questions about whether or not gun control is regulated properly and if mental health is an issue. I know in the first shooter situation, people said that, okay, well, it's a mental health issue. And there are a lot of mental health practitioners who are taking a hands-off approach, saying, oh, well, I'm tired of things being blamed on mental health. But the truth of the matter is, you have to hit it again. It does not mean that it's not a mental health issue, because mental health issues are issues that affect the proper functioning of human life. That's what mental health issues are. So it does mean that it is a mental health issue, and accountability is something that we need to take. And if we are not doing our job, if we're not doing our due diligence, we have to take accountability for that.
Let's talk about kind of like there's a myriad of issues that are part of the gun issue. Like you mentioned, felons with guns, mental issues, people with guns, gun control itself. We look at the whole history of this country and the gun, and where we go back to the Old West, and it said that God made man and Colt made them equal. A lot of people stand by that. The problem with that is when a gun comes into the situation, you're equally dead, and it doesn't solve the problem. What is the root of the problem? The gun or weapons, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a gun.
Right.
A lot of people there's a lot of stabbings here recently. The issue is, what's driving people to do this? And the way I see it is hate. It's just hate. You don't drive 700 miles across the state of Texas solely to shoot Hispanics unless there's a lot of hate in your heart. You don't, shoot up a mosque. You don't shoot up a mall unless there's something else going on. And in the school issues, shootings in the school generally have something to do with bullying, being depressed, or there's all kinds of different issues here as to why people do this. Controlling the guns, when you overreact and you over control or over restrict, over legislate, what you do is create a black market. So the old saying that if guns are illegal, only criminals will have guns. Well, that's true. But at the same time, criminals already have guns.
This is true.
Criminals are already doing it. So what we need to do is not necessarily, we need to solve the gun issue. We need to solve the mental health issues. We need to solve, the bullying in schools and all this. But it all stems to hate. And how would the viewers think, or what are suggestions of how you can stop hate?
Because it's really a people issue. I don't think it is a people. I don't think it's a gun issue. It's not about the weapons. It's people. This one is trying to reconnect. I think it has connection issues, but it's about people. It's not about necessarily. I'm going to do this here, but it's not about. Let's do this. It's not necessarily about just hate in and of itself. You understand? It's not about just guns in and of itself. It's about how we are, or the lack of attention paid to the psychosocial conditioning of people.
Right.
So us giving our children what they need, that's proper cultural conditioning, proper social conditioning, proper growth and maturation, us talking to our children, us, teaching them the ways of life, how to be human. Just these basic things that we are supposed to be doing as parents.
Right.
Teaching them how to negotiate their problems, how to solve their issues that they have with each other, how to go about daily life, resolving conflict. When people do not have proper conflict resolution skills, this is what they resort to.
And that's a very, very good point. I, as a mediator, I do conflict resolution. People to become responsible adults. But a lot of people never got that when they were younger. Not everybody has the same religious ideology on how to do that. So you need to know these techniques. You need to see the power in a situation and when to walk away. It's the old gamblers thing. You need to know when to hold them, when to fold them, and when to walk away. And you're going to get these situations as a child on the playground. You're going to get bullied. If you can talk your way out of it, you can walk away, or you're in good shape. But there's going to become a time that you're going to have to stand and fight. And again, we go back into the psychology of it, the fight or flight part of it. But I think we need to stop teaching our children and stop teaching each other to hate.
This one stopped. I have to reconnect this one. So you guys give me just a second so I can reconnect and restart this feed over here.
We're having connectivity
issues.
Yeah. Today, that's kind of the way my day's going.
Continuation.
Being that I woke up with a hot air balloon landing in my driveway. That's true.
And that's the thing about being live. Sometimes it's, you have these hiccups and it's okay, but well, I guess for whoever landed the hot air balloon, they hadn't planned on those. Yeah, that wasn't a part of they had an emergency landing. But like I was saying, I think it's a people issue. And that's the thing. The more we pay attention to the issue that we're having with the people, I think the better position we are in to start to resolve the issue of hate. If we start there, we are in a place of cognizant awareness,
Mm-hmm.
So we know that there is an issue. We know that we have, and the crazy thing is this. People want so badly to blame Trump for all of this. And that's okay. I get it.
Well, he didn't create it, but he's stroking the fire.
I get that that's the natural thing to do. Because here's the thing. In a country that is not built upon, but fueled by systemic racism, Black versus white, white versus Black, you have the natural inclination to say we are a system of oppression. We are oppressed people. There is systemic racism. And I'm not going to say that racism does not exist, because it does.
Definitely. It exists everywhere.
But it exists because we will not let it go as a culture of people. And we will not let it go because we need it to continue this culture that we have built. You understand?
It's a position of power. It's that dominance that one group of people wants to have over the other, rather than working together. And I think that's going to stifle our growth greatly as a country.
So who are the people you're speaking of doing these mass shootings?
Everybody that's on the news.
Yes, everybody that is on the news.
You know.
So the latest mass shootings, and Well, you know what? Let's go all the way back to the last decade of mass shootings, because this makes more sense. If we, go from these church shootings, school shootings, all of them, okay? If we start going from all of them, and we talk about the profile of every one of these shooter situations. If you talk about the background and the reason for each one of these shooters,
it's going to be slightly different depending on what.
No, it's not about diversion.
There's going to be commonalities in their profile, but their purpose and their reason is going to be specific to them, and it doesn't follow with any.
Why do you feel like we can't be honest in this country?
In what respect are you saying honest?
Well, this is what the viewer says. We can't be honest in this country. Do tell us what you mean. Do you really feel like it's wordplay? Like, tell us what your feelings are. Because at the end of the day, I think the conversation should be, I think this should be an honest conversation. If you feel like this is how I feel, okay? I feel like racism is an issue, right? I feel like it's an issue, but I feel like there are some times where it is a convenience, right? I feel like sometimes there are, how do you say, convenience plays. So it's like a playbook. Life is a playbook.
It's easy to blame those that can't defend themselves.
Right. It's easy to take the blame game. So when Obama was in office, Black people expected Obama to come in office and do something that is impossible for a president to do. Not to do a president's job, but to do, I don't know, what do you say? The job of a advocate for a group of people. So represent Black people only, not a country of people that has Black people, Hispanic people, Asian people, white people, everybody. And when he did not do this, then he is a traitor. You understand? Same thing with Trump. So Trump is in office. He is a racist. Why? Because he is so American that he makes comments that say, my America is so great that we have to speak against, what does it say? What is his famous statement? Shithole countries. He says things that are just completely off, things that are just ridiculous. You don't expect the president to say.
Well, you have to address the fact that the president is a president of all people.
Exactly.
Being a very diverse country, some by choice, some by not by choice.
And I agree. The truth doesn't care about how we feel.
That's true. And the fact of the matter is, you're the president for everybody, and you have to, attend to everyone's needs and feelings. And by playing one end against the other, only gets you burned at both ends. But if you look at the policies and the plans moving forward, you can see that it's lopsided. It's very lopsided. But like I said before, it's easy to do the blame game. Mm-hmm. It's easy to say, this group of people are lazy and they're no good, and these people are over here are good. They do everything right. That's not true. There's bad in every society. Exactly. There's bad in every culture. Yes. There's bad in every religion, and there's good in those same people.
You know, people are going to be people regardless. And I think that we have to do the bigger thing, which is look at people for who they are on the inside instead of looking to judge people as groups, you know, as entire systems. Look at the way the system affects people. And when we look at these shootings, we have to look at the larger picture. You know, people looked at this one shooter in Texas, I think it was.
The most recent one.
Yes. And they were like, oh, when they found out that his father was a mental health practitioner. Oh, but this is a mental health issue. Let me tell you something. Okay. As a mental health practitioner, not all of us are the same, for one. His father was a addiction counselor. That's not the same as a therapist or psychotherapist or systems therapist or mental health counselor. So we don't do the same thing. Okay. He treats people with addiction and that's it. That's his specialty. So even if his son did have a severe mental illness, he would not have been qualified to even diagnose or treat this. You understand? So it's ignorant to think that, oh, you know, some things.
Well, again, they're playing the blame game.
Right.
They want to blame. They want.
If he had an issue, he had an issue. Either way, anybody who does this clearly has an issue. And I think for professionals, because we have groups that are for professionals. I've seen a large amount of professionals say, oh, it's funny how when it's a white guy or it's any guy other than black, it's a mental health issue. This angers me because inside I'm saying to myself, these people, our country is hurting. You know, these people have issues and all you can look at is race and that is it. You understand? This is crazy. Yes, this is still a mental health issue. Okay, let me look. Obama did things for everyone, but Black people, please do more research. Yes. Yes, that's not true. That's what they tell you. It's just that's what they claim it to be democracy, but actually function as a republic with a control mechanism in place to ensure power.
That's true.
This is true.
Yeah. That is true. Wait. Yeah, in fact, if you look at the Constitution, everybody wants to look at it. You know, they want to reference the Constitution. How many times in the Constitution does it say democracy?
Mm-hmm.
0.
Yeah.
None.
Mm-hmm.
It talks about a republic.
Yes.
And there was a lot of people, the founding fathers, that actually wanted a king.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, it's like, and
this is what they come from.
That's right, because they're doing the same thing.
Yes.
The same thing that they did when they were little, and that what they were taught, and that's what they're comfortable with. I think we really need to go beyond that in a lot of cases and really look at what diversity is all about. One of my favorite diversity sayings is, I'm not different from you, I'm different like you.
Yeah.
And if you stop and you think about that, everybody wants to be an individual. And so we try to be different. But in a diverse society, if you try to stay, group in your group, everybody that looks like you, everybody that thinks like you, you're going to have problems.
Exactly.
You have to understand everyone around you.
Mm-hmm. And then here's the thing. I think what has to happen is we have to get to a place to where we understand that we live in a country where we have to accept diversity. We have to accept the fact that people are going to be different than us. And in order for us to live together in harmony, we have to embrace diversity. We have to embrace our differences and we have to celebrate them because our differences that's what makes us strong.
Exactly. That is our strength. You know, being this nationalist policy got us into the Second World War.
Mm-hmm.
And, trying to be an island to ourselves. They all say no man's an island. And we need to be able to, you don't have to marry someone else that you are not in agreement with, but you just have to understand. And if you are a good Christian, the first thing that Christianity teaches you is acceptance of others. And a lot of the hate groups are not accepting of everyone else, and so they're if you want to put Christianity up in front and say that you're a good Christian, then that's what the Bible says, that you need to be tolerant of others.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing. The vast majority of people now in America are atheists now. A lot of people are moving away from being Christian. A lot of people are moving away from Catholicism even. A lot of people are moving away from religion because they feel like that is something that is moving them toward not accepting what society is moving towards now. And society is moving towards accepting homosexual relationships and this kind of thing. Hold on. I see.
We're getting a lot of chat right now.
I see you guys comments in the live chat. I am trying to keep up, but so I'm trying to read. Christians are the least tolerable people in society. They can be. Christian people are some of the people that are the most judgmental. They can be. I see on the Facebook feed, I'm going to type hi in because I can never see you guys until I actually type something in. Hey, Tim. Hey, Michael. Hey, Frederick. So I can never see until I type something in on that one. Yeah, but but it is a wide topic. I do have to say that. Yeah. But so we have talked about the mass shooting. We have talked about the gun control part. We talked about the mental health patients having guns. We've talked about that. We've talked about the felons with guns part. We talked about that with the gun control thing. We've talked about the fact that the problem is really not trying to control guns, regulatory compliance, because that is not really the issue. The issue is really the people issue. The issue is trying to go back into the homes to where people are taking ownership and accountability of how they are raising their children, rearing their children,
and acting as an adult.
Yes.
What we're looking at, all the things that she just talked about, these are all Band-Aids on a bigger problem.
Right.
You got a broken leg and you just put a Band-Aid on it because you said, oh well, here's that we need to restrict guns, so here, let's put a Band-Aid on that. Felons shouldn't have guns. Well, it's illegal anyway, but they've got them, so let's put a Band-Aid on that. Let's stop school shootings by putting more security and police in the school as a Band-Aid. Well, let's put a Band-Aid wherever we can, because we can't solve the problem, or we don't want to solve the problem, because we know that deep inside, to solve that problem, we have to look inside ourselves
and see what we're doing wrong as people, because accountability is something that we are afraid to take. If we take accountability and we say that we are the problem, then we can no longer blame other people. That's what it says. And if we are taking accountability, then it's saying that we've done something wrong. And if we say we've done something wrong, then who is responsible? It's not the other person. We can't point the finger.
We can't blame. We can't do the blame game. We have to stand up and
do something.
That's right.
And that's the thing. In order to cure the influx of hate in the world, we have to start changing that from inside of our homes. We have to start conditioning our children in a different way. We have to start with ourselves. Conditioning ourselves. And it's okay. You say, I'm sorry. No. We are trying to show you how we get to this. And so the idea was to show you guys all of the different Band-Aids, all of the different scenarios of blame game. how we get to looking at all of these distractions from the real problem. The real problem is people, the people, how we are vacating the necessity to mentor each other, mentor our children, raise our children, attend to our children, attend to our society, to each other, like we should be. That is the problem. To pay attention to our brethren, because that's what we're not doing. And when we start doing that, we will start healing the society that is broken, because we are broken. And when we start fixing our broken ways of thinking and being, only then will we start actually healing what is broken. And then will we start revealing the layers that really need to be repaired so that we can start attending to the mental, behavioral, and emotional issues that need attention in our society, so that we can start revamping, rebuilding, restructuring. And now the shooting stopped.
Well, and when we talk about, well, I'm just keeping it real, let's keep it real smart. Let's not keep it real stupid.
Mm-hmm.
And doing acts of violence against anyone is stupid. That's the bottom line. That's the way I see it. There's no reason to get, I mean, even if you're going through the drive-in at Starbucks and they don't get your coffee right, don't throw it at them. Try to get it right. They're doing what they can. And that's the thing about Starbucks. But that's just being nice to your fellow person. When you see somebody struggling, tell them that you appreciate them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and even if it's just one positive thing that you say to a person, be positive, do something nice for the next person, do something, positive that impacts the next person's life, even if you do or don't know that person, because you are supposed to be there to spread light to the people that you are connected to, not to spread darkness. You know what I mean? Leave a positive impact everywhere you go.
You are the start of the solution.
Exactly. And make yourself responsible for that, if nothing else. So that is what I want to leave you guys with. And that is your self-care. So that is how I want you guys to, do something for yourselves to make sure that you're maintaining your adequate self-care. That's why I want you to take care of yourself every single day, because it is hard to live in a society where you are afraid to go out of your house because you don't know what the next person is going to do, how they are feeling, if they are balanced or off balance, when they are moving, thinking, or doing whatever that is that they're doing, moving and thinking in their car, So that's all I have. Do you have anything else, Larry?
We covered a lot.
Yes, we did.
There's probably, we could do a podcast on each one of those topics.
Yes.
And so we just kind of, and we may actually do that, but we just kind of cover the broad area. And I think that the focus is that, when you get up and you look at yourself in the morning in the mirror, you're the solution.
Yes.
Treat people the way, we always say that, treat people the way that you want to be treated.
I would say ask people how they want to be treated and treat them that way.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because you never know.
Yeah, because, sometimes they don't want to be treated the way that you want to be treated. They want to be treated the way they want to be treated, Yeah. But I say remain curious and, be good to people. Just be good to them and, do unto others the way that you will have them do unto you until you know how they will have you do to them, That's all I've got. You guys take care. I love you guys. If you've not already subscribed to us and are following us already, do that. Okay?
Have a good one.
I said, I wish the police would ask Black people that question. I love this one. I love that question. I wish I could. That, you know what? You might. You know what? I'm going to write this down. That's going to be the topic of discussion for our next Saturday. Okay? Voice of Reason. Follow us. Wish. Police.
Interaction between young people and police, or interaction with police and.
I'll have a police officer on with us.
Oh,
next.
that'll be interesting.
Yes, I know a lot of police officers. Right. Would you guys prefer a black police officer or a white police officer or both? Just tell me this before. See, I hate it because Facebook cannot see the comments over here.
Oh.
Both? Okay. I have both. Got it.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you so much for watching, and I'm going to end this stream. We will see you next weekend.
You guys have a good one.
Later.
Bye.